Welcome to another episode of the House Huddle Podcast. Here are your hosts, Rob Schwartz and Justin Onayemi, two Bears fans who decided talking into a microphone was better than shouting at their television.
Welcome in, House Huddlers. Huddle up! It is episode 40 of the House Huddle Podcast. As always, I'm Rob Schwartz, joined with me, my good buddy and co-host, Justin Onayemi. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going great, man. 40, there's only one.
Yeah, good old, well, I almost said second best, probably, returner in history, right?
Yeah,
Gale
wow.
Sayers.
I guess so.
Not
Gale
history.
Sayers episode.
Bears history.
In Bears history.
Bears history. I misspoke.
Gale Sayers episode.
Yeah, that guy. I never watched him play live.
I was going to say, in honor of Gale Sayers, we're going to keep this real short.
Real short. Yeah, just like his career.
Too soon.
Hall
Hall of Fame career nonetheless.
Yeah, my dad always talked about him being one of the best he's ever seen play. So I got to take his word for it. I mean, I've seen highlights, obviously,
right.
But it's different when you watch a highlight reel versus actually watching something live.
Right,
so.
For sure.
So prior to getting on here, I went ahead and did the obvious shirts drawing. It was a random raffle. Took all of the subscribers that we had available and put them basically in an online wheel spinner, and came up with a Mr. Wagner. That's at MIST3RWAGN 3R75. Now, Mr. Wagner, you do not have any videos on YouTube. You do not have a Twitter account or any other social media listed. So I'm hoping that you hear this. Please reach out to us in the comment section. Let's figure out a way to get in touch with you so I can get your information without you posting it publicly. And we will get you that obvious shirt through the mail.
That being said, we're only going to give him a week to claim his prize.
Yes.
So, Mr. Wagner, you are on the clock.
Officially on the clock.
In honor of our mock draft episode. But if he doesn't reach out to us by next Monday, then we'll draw again.
Yeah. So if that happens, maybe new subscribers have a chance still too. Definitely hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave comments. We love it.
So we're going to do another mock this time.
Yes.
2.0.
Mock draft Monday, as they say.
Yep. And we didn't love our first one.
No, we did not.
But we came into this saying we're going to do it 4 times with 4 different strategies. And we're kind of working towards a strategy that we think might be the best strategy. So, spoiler alert, even tonight's, I don't think we're going with the best strategy that they could use right now.
Probably not. So last episode, we went specifically focused on the offensive line. Ended up with Paris Johnson, and then the way things fell, we missed one of the top 3 centers. Granted, we did talk, had this application been a little bit better, Pro Football Focus, come on, if you're charging us, let's make it so we can actually see who's available. Let's see who's been picked on our team. You can't even see that unless you scroll up and down. Let's make it better if you want it to continue to be paid. We probably would have traded up.
So I did some practice mocks just to see where those centers would go. So I have a sense today, if we need to, we might want to trade up to get one of them. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. So without further ado, do we dive right in?
The Carolina Panthers.
Why don't you put our stuff up there?
They're going to be on the clock.
Because I do actually, before we do that though, we got some visuals we want to put up here. So this is mock draft 2.0. And if you can go to the next slide there, Rob. We wanted to show that the Bears do have quite a bit of needs, as everyone who follows the Bears knows. Offensive line is a huge need. We talked about center just now, and last draft we led by getting a tackle. The reason defensive line is highlighted there, that's going to be our focus this time. And I'm not a fan of this strategy necessarily. I know I'm getting ahead of it because we're locking in on a position.
Yeah, I think we talked about it enough, or at least I know I have. I am a big fan of tiers. I like putting my guys in a grouping and they're in a tier, and then positional value does come into play at that point, right? But then you also have to look at where from a macro level on where other positions are available at other points in the draft, and that could affect who you take.
And the beauty of doing it that way, specifically to the Bears situation, is they pick at 9 and 53. That's a big gap.
A huge gap.
So if you're comfortable dropping back because of how your tiers align, you can pick up a pick before 53 and get the guy you like at a good value. So that's a spoiler for maybe mock 3.0 or mock 4.0.
We'll have to see.
We'll have to see. All right. So we will be addressing defensive line first.
All right.
One more slide before we get started is just a review of what picks the Bears do have in this draft.
Yeah, they have 10 of them currently.
But we might be wheeling and dealing. We won't deal the first pick.
Correct. That's the rule for this particular mock draft.
Okay.
But we can wheel and deal elsewhere. And we should point out, Ryan Poles only had 5 picks last year. Turn that into 10. Does he turn 10 into 7 because he moves up? Does he turn 10 into 15?
Well, 5 to 10 was double. So I think he's going to make it into 20.
20?
Yeah.
That's a lot of picks. Gosh, I don't know if I have enough time to cover all those.
That's all the needs they have still.
That's
I wouldn't
true.
go to the next one yet.
Okay.
But take that off maybe.
All right.
All right. We're getting better.
We are. I'm learning these controls,
We got a
guys.
producer now.
Learning these controls. All right. So I jumped the gun. Now the Carolina Panthers are officially on the clock. As we all know, they traded us DJ Moore, 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks to move 9 from 1. I'm sorry, from 9 to 1. And they take Bryce Young. I still think they take CJ Stroud. I think that's a better fit for Frank Reich, but CJ Stroud goes 2, Will Anderson 3. I think this is basically the same way it started last time. Will Levis went 4 to Indianapolis. Jalen Carter does not fall. He goes to the Seahawks at 5. By the way, he had a meeting today with the Bears, so that's interesting. I think.
Wait, slow down. So, say what you're going to say about Jalen Carter, but I want to tell everyone what's happening on the draft board here. That's very interesting to me, and I have a question for you, Rob.
Okay, if Jalen Carter does fall to 9, though, I do. So Drew Rosenhaus's agent came out and said that he's not even going to offer visits to any teams outside of the top 10 because he doesn't think Jalen Carter will fall that far. But as somebody on Twitter and I were going back and forth on this, like that eliminates though other teams who are in those teens, maybe even the 20s, who might want to trade up.
Right. That's
So I mean, they could still do it, but the risk is a lot riskier, right? Like,
so the thing I'm going to say, I think I need to read the board to the listeners real quick. So 1 was Bryce Young, 2 was CJ Stroud. Okay, Will Anderson did go.
Yes.
In a couple of these mocks I've done, Will Anderson for some reason slips. So anyway.
Not in this one.
Not in this one. All right. Will Levis 4, Jalen Carter to the Seahawks at 5, Tyree Wilson 6. Yes. And remember, we already said we're going D-line here. So he would have been a nice guy to get. We weren't thinking he'd get to us.
Correct. Anthony Richardson now is gone at 7. He's going to be backing up porn star babyface Jimmy Garoppolo.
I didn't know. I was like, you lost me. I don't know.
Jimmy Garoppolo. And we'll see who the Atlanta Falcons take here in just 1 second. I'm going offensive. I'm thinking probably a corner, right?
Skoronski.
Oh, no, they went Skoronski. So both corners are on the board. That's not our option for this draft, but definitely could be an option with Devin Witherspoon or Christian Gonzalez both being available.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So we locked ourselves in. That's what we said we were going to do. So, Rob, will you take us back to the slides? We want to talk about if we're going D-line here, and there was a player we made a slide for that's now not here because we didn't know how far Jalen Carter would fall. He's a wild card. But we kind of profiled a few of the options we have here and want to discuss those and decide on our pick.
Kind of go through them real quick.
Okay. It's a guy I know you like, Rob. Why don't you tell us about Myles Murphy?
Yeah, Myles Murphy is my top defensive end prospect outside of Will Anderson, who I still project as better of an off the ball
linebacker and a 3-4 maybe.
Yeah, a 3-4 linebacker. I think Myles Murphy is getting way too much hate right now. I keep seeing him falling down draft boards. He's very consistent. He's an elite. He projects as an elite run stopper, which is something that Chicago struggled with, especially on the defensive line last year. I know they didn't get sacks, but how many times do we see Dominique Robinson over pursue, Trevis Gibson, just out of position. Myles Murphy projects as a guy who is not going to make those mistakes. He's big, he's lean, he's fast. Some people think he takes plays off, but 15 sacks over the last 2 years, 54 hurries over the last 2 years. The guy is going to be a good professional.
So I'm big on Myles Murphy too. Now you said he's your number one other than Will Anderson.
Correct.
Does that mean you have him over Tyree Wilson?
I do.
Interesting. Okay, I like Tyree Wilson better, but obviously in many mocks I've done, Wilson is not falling to 9.
Yeah.
So Murphy's a guy I really like, but let's look at some of the other options.
All right.
No longer an option here.
No longer an option here, but
worth talking about.
Been here, like I said, he had his visit today with Chicago. They're doing their due diligence. They got to see if he's, is he the guy that keeps getting in trouble off the field, or does he, he obviously is a scheme fit. Is he going to be worth taking here at 9? Is that risk there? We don't get to see it.
I think what concerns me is he has red flags off the field, as you pointed out.
Yeah.
But he has a lot of red flags on the field as well.
Well,
in terms of, does he practice hard? Does he dedicate himself? Does he take plays off? All of those things.
And the production from a sack standpoint isn't there. I know defensive tackles don't get as many usually, and he is double teamed quite a bit.
Yep.
He did have 48 hurries, which isn't that far off from Myles Murphy with 54. So I know he doesn't have the sacks, but he definitely fits the profile of somebody that I think Matt Eberflus would love to see.
If he will hits principle.
Correct.
So
that's the thing. He's got to get that. Does he really want to play football? Right? Like that's a big thing to these guys.
Well, I hope that's something in a meeting they can figure out. If they weren't playing putt-putt too long.
All right. So another guy who is off the board.
Yeah. I didn't know we put him on there.
We did, because there was a chance that Tyree Wilson fell. He has leapfrogged Myles Murphy on most boards, analyst boards. I love the prospect. He's even longer than Myles Murphy. He's a little bit slow off the ball. I don't like his burst off the ball as much as I do Myles Murphy. That's something that is a little bit troublesome to me. I noticed it on film, and then hearing Corey Wooten talk about it made me feel like, wow, okay, maybe I can pick out some of these things when I'm looking at these guys on film. A lot of the sacks that I see him get are reach sacks. Like he uses his length, gets around the tackle, and then he's just able to get his hand in there and either grab the ball, grab the quarterback. It's fantastic.
But at the next level,
it worries me a little bit at the next level.
I get that, but I will say those are some of the most impactful game-changing sacks, because a lot of times those are strip sacks.
And when I look at the two, let's look at Tyree Wilson and Myles Murphy. When I compare these two, I have them in my same tier, okay, right behind Will Anderson. They're the only two in that tier. And when I look at these two, Tyree Wilson has the higher ceiling. Myles Murphy has the higher floor.
Okay. And I think right now, the Bears are building for the future. So a high floor guy that also has a high ceiling, which I think described Myles Murphy, is a pretty solid, safe pick.
I think we have one more.
We have one more on here,
right.
And I was not feeling too comfortable taking him at 9, even though some people will feel that way about Myles Murphy. But you got Lucas Van Ness, local product out of Barrington High School, went to Iowa, did well in the combine with one notable exception. Do you know what that was?
No, it's not my head.
He had the second lowest number of reps in bench out of defensive or out of edge rushers. And there are some things that you don't put as much value in, but that's speaking to strength.
Yeah.
And he's got the size. I will say that.
He does.
So he's similar actually to the other two guys we just talked about, but he didn't even start at Iowa.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, that's not something I just want to hold against him. But it does concern me a bit.
If you're watching on YouTube, one thing you might notice is that I actually have DL listed instead of D end, like I did for Tyree Wilson and Myles Murphy. I actually think Lucas Van Ness projects better as a 3 technique. Some people might think he might be a little bit small in the weight class. Again, maybe a little bit weaker.
I was going to say, did you know about the 17 reps? Would that change your?
It probably would. It would move him down. I've never been as high on him as I've seen other analysts, but when I watch his film, I see him better. I see better production from him when he's playing more on the inside, or even from the defensive end line and going
stunts
onto the inside. I apologize. I have something in my throat. It's driving me nuts. He would not be I would not even consider him a 9 though.
Yeah. And that's,
and we put him in here because a lot of analysts are.
Okay.
Right.
And we didn't know who would be available.
Correct.
So those are the 4 we kind of were talking about. 2 of them are off the board, and we clearly like one more than the other. So I believe, Rob, we're going to go Myles Murphy here and kind of like that.
I mean, I know I'm going to like it.
I know PFF won't.
Yeah, they won't.
F.
It'll definitely be an F.
No, you think F?
It'll be a D or an F. I guarantee it. They actually have him as their 22nd ranked prospect on here. I guarantee you he's going to be in my top 10. Another name that we didn't mention and I didn't create a slide for is Kalijah Cansey, who they actually have ranked higher here. It's just crazy to me because he wasn't even talked about 3 months ago out of Pitt. I like him as a great prospect, but he, to me, is somebody I think you could get trading down.
So, yeah, exactly. I agree with that analysis. Is there comparisons of him with Donald simply because he went to Pitt, or is there more to it than that? I mean, I know he had some good production in college.
Yeah, he's
undersized.
He's undersized, but so is Donald.
Donald is as well.
Yeah,
but
so they're very similar in like measurables. He's very athletic. I do think he projects well. But to say he's going to be anything close to Aaron Donald, who in my opinion is the best defensive tackle I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's speaking, I mean, again, I didn't watch a lot of Dan Hampton, right? But like
what about Warren Sapp?
I would say that's like the closest comparison for me.
Okay.
Growing up watching football is Warren Sapp.
Okay.
I mean, not Ndamukong Suh, like he's better than that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Okay.
So I went ahead and clicked Myles Murphy.
So we're good with Myles Murphy. Now, we don't pick again until 53, but we are going to keep a closer eye. I think center is still important. I don't know. I would love to get him at 61.
Yeah, we should also keep an eye on offensive line.
Yes, because now we went defensive line. You're right. You're right. So we're going to keep an eye. Now, 10 was picked.
Yeah, so Devin Witherspoon went.
ILL, baby.
Oh, JSN went to the Titans. Houston takes Paris Johnson. Christian Gonzalez goes to the Jets. Nolan Smith, another end, goes to the Patriots. Joey Porter goes to the Green Bay Packers. They like their corners. Bijan Robinson goes to the Commanders. That's interesting. Brian Branch to Pittsburgh. Quentin Johnson goes to Detroit. Not a fan of his, by the way. Lucas Van Ness now off the board goes to Tampa. There's Kalijah Cansey to the
Seattle. Wait, pause that. So Seattle took Jalen Carter and Cansey.
That's interesting. This is not a very good mock, by the way, because those two basically play the same position. Like, I can't see them being 1 and 2.
Although that's your coverage if Carter ends up.
I guess.
Okay, so Broderick Jones, for instance.
Yeah, so he's gone at 21.
So let's pause. When you say trading up potentially for like a offensive lineman, who are some guys we should be keeping an eye on?
Yeah, so we got Anton Harrison, not necessarily the best fit. I like him, but I do think there's some other better fits. Let's see. DeJuan Jones is not a good fit in my opinion. Michael Bergeron. I'm on the spot here because I'm not looking. I'm trying to do this based on memory, guys. Oh my gosh.
You're doing a good job.
Darnell Wright, but he'll probably go in the first round. I don't know if we want to try to trade back into the first.
He's been falling to just outside of the first.
Okay.
But
and I'm blank. I mean, Cody Mauch is another one.
I've been reading more about him and starting to lose some of my.
The problem with Cody Mauch is I feel like he's a Tevin Jenkins. Like he's a guy who projects as an offensive tackle. Again, could be an offensive guard, right tackle. I mean, not just offensive tackle. So I like him, but he again. I mean, do you want two Tevin Jenkins? I don't know. We already got Nate Davis at guard, so it's like I think center is the better position to focus on.
Agreed. Okay, so let's see. Darnell Wright's a guy I'm intrigued by, and if it gets out of round 1, we might want to look.
All right, so do we want to let it go to 31 and then pause again just to see who's available?
Sure.
Okay, Deontay Brooks, Osiris Torrance, a good offensive guard prospects. Brian Breesy's another defensive 3-tech. Zay Flowers goes to Dallas. There goes Darnell Wright.
Okay, Darnell Wright to Buffalo at 27.
27. Michael Mayer, the tight end out of Notre Dame, goes to Cincy. Mozzie Smith out of Michigan goes to the Saints. All right, I hit the pause button.
Another
here.
tight end.
Dalton Kincaid goes to the Eagles. That's interesting with Goddard. Cam Smith, corner, goes to the Chiefs. And now we are looking here at 32, which would have been the Chicago Bears pick. Again, you can't see players, which is stupid. Come on.
All right, so I'm looking at a list here of offensive linemen. And I know
I'm missing somebody.
Gone, Bergeron's still available.
Who am I missing? Jalen.
From Maryland?
Yes. I like him as a prospect too.
He's Jalen Duncan.
Yes.
Okay. Well, he's pretty low on this one, by the way, that I'm looking at. But let's play it out a little bit.
All right.
A lot of those of the big three centers, how do you have them ranked?
I have it JSM. I'm sorry, not JSM.
JMS. John Michael Schmitz out of Minnesota is the number one.
Yep.
Okay.
Joe Tippmann is number 2, and Weipler is number 3.
But they all would be in like your first tier.
I actually have Michael Schmitz in one tier above.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do we want to see and wait until 2 are gone? Like, are you satisfied with any of the 3?
I would be satisfied with any of the 3. I don't think he's in a tier. I don't think him being in a tier by himself is worth trading draft capital.
Right.
A lot of draft capital to get him.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So why don't we wait? And if 2 of them are gone, then we pause and see if we want to trade up.
Okay.
And if multiple are there, 53, maybe we wait. But that's what got us burned last time.
There goes Anton Harrison. Josh Downs. BJ Ojari. Jalen Hyatt. He's gone up and down my draft board so much. Keely Ringo, I'm sorry. Jack Campbell, he's my top linebacker, but we don't need that. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Steve Avila, but he's gone now too. Drew Sanders.
I was more thinking of tackles, but he's interior.
So he could play center. I have him both as a.
I see.
But I would rather one of the true centers.
Yes.
If that makes sense. Jahmyr Gibbs went.
So we are now coming up on pick 45. We're getting close to ours.
Yeah, there goes Adatami.
To the Packers.
He goes to the Packers. Okay, so there's the first center off the board at 47. And it is my guy, John Michael Schmitz. Okay. So let's see when the next one goes, and then we will make a decision here.
DeJuan Jones at 48 to the Lions.
Thule goes at 49. Sam Laporta, I like him as a tight end out of Iowa.
Felix Anudike Azuma. We got him in the last one, I think.
So we are
all right, we're on the clock.
On the clock at 53. That means 2 of those centers are available. Yeah. Right. So let's look at offensive tackle, and let's look at
look at both those positions. O-line is very important here, I think. Last week it was so important we started with it.
Right.
So Bergeron is very intriguing to me.
I like Bergeron. Now, is he going to be available
8 picks from now?
8 picks from now. I don't know. So I would be okay with Duncan too, but I would take Bergeron over Duncan.
I would as well. Oh, Freeland. Was that a guy you were thinking of?
I like Freeland, but he is a late second, early third round grade for me.
Okay.
And he's more left tackle specific. But that doesn't stop us from putting Braxton Jones to right tackle.
True. But that comes with a risk, I think. If you can get a guy you're happy to put in at right tackle, because this is not the draft where we get a Paris Johnson.
Right.
I'm kind of leaning Bergeron here.
I'm fine with Bergeron. Tippmann was where I was leaning, but I'm easily swayed.
Okay. Well, I think because there's 2 centers,
and I think tackle is a much harder position to fill.
Okay. So are we going to take Bergeron?
We're taking Bergeron out of Syracuse. Okay. All right. Joe Tippmann was the very next pick, by the way.
Okay. So
now, do we consider
trading up
with? I don't know if Detroit's the team to trade up with, but a lot of teams here need center. The Jaguars.
The Bears have 61 and 64.
The Giants. Yeah.
So what would it take, do you think, to move up? What are we talking about? 6 spots?
6 spots. I mean, just a flip of picks, probably.
Let's do it.
I don't think we're going to lose a pick.
Let's do it, because last time we whiffed on center and we felt it was
let's see.
An issue for us.
55. We're going to offer them 61. And let's see. I don't think this is going to be enough. 148.
It's going to definitely be
for
enough.
152.
Oh, I didn't know you were going to do that.
I'm just flipping.
Yeah, I see what you did.
So there, we're not losing a pick. We're moving up now and moving back later.
Okay.
It's got a 41% chance.
It will work. On this, it will. I don't know about in real life. Oh, they rejected it.
They rejected it. So I think we would have to give up 136.
Okay.
Is it worth it for Weipler?
I think so.
I think it is.
Let's go for it. It's in the division, that kind of stuff. Oh, they denied that too.
They just don't want to trade with us.
All right, let them take their pick. Hopefully they don't take him, and let's see who the next team is if we can get it from there. And they went
they went with a safety, Antonio Johnson.
All right, so now let's go. We're gonna go after pick 56.
56. We're gonna give him 61. Let's see. Maybe we go 121 and give him 103.
Oof.
That's a lot.
That is a lot,
right?
That is a lot. What about 127 for 133?
Well, they're not going to do that because that's both behind.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. We could do 185 for 148. I mean, they're late.
Yeah, that's true. All right. See if we got it. All right. We traded up.
They accepted it. All right.
So now we got to take our guy because we went out of our way to trade for him.
That's right.
So we are taking
Luke
Weipler out of the Ohio State University.
That's right.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that as a Illinois grad, but
I'm not sure.
And we still kept
64, which I think is big.
This became pick 56, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And we don't have 136 anymore?
Correct. We do not have 136, but we have 185.
And now we have 185.
And I'm sorry, we don't have 148, but we have 185.
Okay, so 136 is still in play. All right.
All right, we're going to let this go a little bit faster here.
Yep, sorry. Let's do it.
Okay.
And now they're 61.
Keanu Benton just went.
That's not bad.
Yeah, defensive tackle. I can never say the guy's name correctly, but Saki Ika out of Baylor. More of a one tech. I'm okay with losing that.
All right, so we now are on the clock again at pick 64. We have addressed edge with Miles Murphy, tackle with Matthew Bergeron, center with Luke Weipler. Huge needs, all addressed. Really happy with this start. Now we can kind of maybe look at best player available, but in a position. Well, what do you think, Rob?
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Sidney Brown, you like him, right?
Yeah. I don't know, though. Keep going down that list for me.
We could go Zach Charbonnet. I don't think I said that correctly, but the running back out of UCLA, who's my third running back in the draft. I do like Rashee Rice out of SMU if we wanted to go wide receiver.
Okay.
Jordan Battle out of Alabama would be a guy to consider.
I think Clark Phillips we ended up with in our last one.
Yep.
And guys we took in the last one are still eligible for this one, obviously.
Right.
Different potential reality here.
I mean, we could
go up a little.
We could double up on offensive line and still get Jalen Duncan or Cody Mauch here.
Okay. Mauch is interesting because I don't know at tackle if his measurables work, but he's certainly a guy you could move inside.
Right.
And you said he's kind of like Tevin Jenkins, but remember, Tevin Jenkins is a guy we don't know about his injuries.
Right.
That's a tough one. Now, we did trade up. What do you think about trading back? We're picking here at 64. We don't pick again until 103.
We have a trade offer.
Yeah, we don't pick again until 103.
Yeah, let's see what we got. All right, we can move back to 70.
Wait, I thought it was an offer.
It is. Well, they're interested.
Oh, they're interested. So we'd have to still.
We have to still set this.
Okay,
that's how this one works.
Move back 6 spots,
and we just
acquire.
Do we just try to acquire a pick, or maybe move back up a little bit?
Maybe up where that other big gap has been created.
So trade 185 back out of here. Maybe see if we can get 144.
Sure.
Looks like they're going to take it.
Okay.
All right.
This is how Ryan Poles does it, man. Let's go. All right. There was no one there we had to have. So we acquired a pick. We got rid of 185. And now what are we at? What's the one we picked up? 144. Okay. So we actually ended up moving up above the original pick.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's how we roll.
So now Rashi Rice is off the board. Cody Mouse just went.
Yeah.
But we would have been kind of forcing ourselves to pick that. What do we got at corner? I'm curious because that's another position I think is a bit more of a need.
Yeah. Garrett Williams is available. It's a little bit interesting. I have him lower on my draft board than Clark Phillips. PFF likes him more. So if you're listening to this and you do like him, he is available.
Already got another Syracuse guy too.
Yeah, I mean he's 5'2". It's not that I don't like him. I just think Phillips brings more upside.
Can you filter just by corners?
Oh yeah, forgot I can do that. Sorry.
Tre'Vius Hodges Tomlinson.
Yeah, out of TCU. He's another guy that I like, but I have Phillips above him as well.
Okay.
I'm fine with
halfback.
I'm fine with going Garrett Williams here. Yeah, who's that running back?
So that doesn't take off corner unless you click on it, but I'm fine.
Yeah.
So what do you know about this guy out of Texas A&M?
Oh, Devin Achane. Yeah. I butcher names, guys. I'm not good with names. Smaller.
Scat back.
Yeah, I have him a little bit lower than what they do. I've seen other people have him higher, but yeah, he's 5. They have him listed at 5'8". I think he actually measured in at 5'9".
Okay.
Very fast. Definitely would be another weapon on the offense.
So we took Dwayne McBride in the last one, I think.
We did. Yeah. So there's actually a guy on here that I wasn't even in on that one of our listeners actually put in the comments that is interesting to me, and it's the running back out of Pitt, Israel Abanikhan. You do it.
I can't. Okay. I can't even see that far.
Abanikanda.
Kanda.
Yeah, Kanda. Okay. Out of Pitt. I love his measurables. I had him as my running back 6 at the time, and I started watching more film on him. I believe the guy's name who commented was Jesse. I am moving him up actually in my draft board.
Okay.
I looked at his RAS score. He's in the upper 9s.
Wow.
Runs a 5.3.
All right, let's target him later. And what that means is we don't take a running back here.
Yeah.
So now let's go corner. Let's take Garrett Williams.
All right, let's go. We'll double up on Syracuse.
Garrett Williams as a corner. Is he likely to be playing the outside?
He would probably be the outside, which means Kyler Gordon would push to the
okay. Clark Phillips went the very next pick.
Yep.
Jalen Duncan went. Sidney Brown. Our next pick,
103. We got a while.
Yeah. You could speed it up a little if you want.
How do I don't see the speed up.
Speed button is on the left up top. There you go. Draft's over. No. Too fast. We're obviously not going to call all the names at this point.
No.
Jalon Jones. If we wanted a guy with the same name as another one of our players.
Right. Oh, Zach Harrison. I forgot that I like him.
Byron Young is a name I've been hearing.
Yeah, he had a good combine.
And just now, Trevius Hodges Tomlinson, who was a guy we had contemplated over Garrett Williams potentially, he went at 101.
Yeah.
31 picks later. That's almost a full round.
It is. Tank Bigsby also went. He's my running back 4.
Okay, so now we're at 103, and we also pick at 133.
All right. So
we have addressed both sides of the ball, all positions of need. Let's take a look here.
What about wide receiver? You got some wide receiver?
Wide receiver, tight end, but I don't know there's any tight ends worth taking here.
Yeah. Jaden Reed is here. I think he's got some upside.
Okay.
If you like Kayshon Boutte, he's also available out of LSU. Again, we talked about him in the last one. Has some upside, like could be the guy, like we've seen it, but also just hasn't been the same since his injury.
Well, so Jaden Reed, I want to go back to him for a second. A lot of speed, and from what I understand, performed well at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
Which is obviously something the Bears should have had their eyes on. I think that's a good pick here.
All right. Let's just do that.
Let's do it.
It's a little bit older, 22.
Is he as old as Velus?
He is not as old as Velus.
Boom, boom. Got my Velus Jones joke in. Mock 2.0. I think every mock I'll try to find a way to get that one in there.
I have to see, though. He might be the same age as George Pickens.
He's younger than Bob Weiss. So Jaden.
We got our ticks in.
We evened up the score. 1-1-1-1. All right, we're coming up at 133. And when it gets there, that might be a good time to take that halfback if he's not gone.
I think he's going to be available just because they have him so low and their stuff. But
okay,
I do think he's
this is when we should be taking him.
Round.
Oh, Kobe Turner as an interior defensive line.
Yeah,
because we addressed the edge.
You're right. Oh, actually, I like Keandre Coburn over him.
Yeah, you did mention him last time.
Yeah,
but as a position to address right here, I think that might be over the running back even.
Yes.
Ronnie Hickman is available. That's a position we talked about.
Yeah.
Getting some depth at. Let's go Coburn. Keandre Coburn.
He is off the board. Keandre Coburn is a Chicago Bear. And we are on the clock again.
Oh, yeah, that was the quick one. 133 and then 136.
Yep.
All right, so do we take the halfback we like here? Do we – what are the tight ends?
I like Yaya out of Louisville as a good developmental defensive end. I mean, I know we already took one in the first round, but let's not act like they don't need more help.
Or that Dominique Robinson wasn't a receiver 2 years ago.
Right. Yeah, so that could be an option.
Okay, can you show me tight ends?
Yes.
I don't know if there are any that strike your eye.
Davis Allen out of Clemson is kind of more of like a blocking tight end. Does have some receiving upside, but not a lot.
None of these names are striking me, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, Payne Durham is a guy I really like. He performed really well at the Combine. I don't understand why PFF has him this low. Do we just take advantage of the sim or do we try to be realistic?
Or be realistic. Is this where he would be going? So pick 136 is the first pick of the 5th round.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, they have him ranked 340. Their ADP is 222, so it's a lot higher, but
still
pretty
low.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wait. But keep him in mind as someone we can target later because I think that's a position they should address.
Right.
Which you can almost say about any position. What about linebackers? If there's just like a stud out there. And safety, just to look at kind of all what's out there. Ronnie Hickman.
Yeah, Ronnie Hickman, Quindell Johnson, and Rashad Torrance, I think, are all kind of guys in the same
Brandon
tier.
Joseph we took last time.
Yeah, well, we kind of reached on him.
I like Ronnie Hickman, to be honest.
Golden Domer bias. I'm good with Ronnie Hickman here.
All right, let's go Ronnie Hickman at safety. We can't miss out on your running back. We're only 8 picks away. This is the one we acquired in the trade after the trade. Glad we got that pick. Otherwise, we'd be waiting about 50 picks here.
I'm leaning Yaya.
Okay.
The upside's there.
And you get to say Yaya.
Yaya.
Okay.
Now, realistically, I don't think the Pitt running back is going to be available
this late.
Oh, in fact, he just went.
That's who we should have taken.
That is who we should have taken.
Doggone it. So we only have 2 picks left, right?
We have 2 picks left.
And the Bears did re-sign Simeon. Or, sorry, no, Peterman.
Yeah,
so I don't think maybe they're not going quarterback at all.
Right.
Which means we can get a running back here and then whatever we want. But now I'm kind of worried of what we're going to get at running back at 218.
Yeah, do we look to trade up?
And we don't know who's on the board. That's this flaw here.
Right.
Let's just wait and see who's there. And if it's a position we completely miss. Oh, is that?
No, that's...
No, those are players on the roster.
Let's trade away Justin Fields.
All right, just fast forward, and then we'll take the best halfback we can, and then the best player available at 258. And hope he becomes Brock Purdy, or what's his name? Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we are at 218. Halfbacks. Oh.
Yeah, I was just seeing if he was still available. He is.
We can get him with the last pick.
Hopefully.
All right. Running back.
There it is.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if his style will transfer to the NFL, but you see that first name?
Yeah,
Muhammad Ibrahim from Minnesota. He had a very productive college career.
Yeah, we should have taken him at that last pick. All right. Well, just know that our last pick was the running back out of Pitt.
You don't get to do do-overs in the NFL.
We don't get mulligans?
Nope. All right, skip it then.
Yeah.
Is this where you take the tight end?
Out of this group, Travis Dye is my favorite. I think he has a lot of production, but he's also had a lot of miles on those legs. So.
All right, let's take our tight end.
Let's just make sure we get Durham.
Yeah. All right, Payne Durham. Every draft so far, we have to have a regretful omission. So
that's right.
Until we get to mock 4.0, that one's going to be flawless. A+ straight down the card. And then Poles and Cunningham can just take that episode and carry it on into the draft. All right, and this is our last pick, 258. Is the last pick total 259?
Looks like it.
Wow.
We're 1 away from Mr. Irrelevant.
So this is the guy before Mr. Irrelevant, who's truly the Mr. Irrelevant because he doesn't get a nickname.
Okay, I don't know how this guy's here, but I think this is the guy we need to take. I don't necessarily think he's just a center, but Alex Forsythe out of Oregon. Again, I don't know why he's here. He to me is I have a 5th round grade on him, so I'd definitely be happy with that.
What do you know? I don't even want to say it. Evan Hall. I just heard his name come up, but
out of Northwestern.
Yeah, I'm fine with whoever, man. This is Mr. Irrelevant. No, this is just non-named Mr. Irrelevant. If you got a 5th round grade on a guy,
we're just gonna take
we'll take him. All right, so we got 2 centers because last time we didn't get any. So
yeah, we made up for it.
All right.
Oh, they gave us a C+ for Miles Murphy.
I told you it wouldn't be anywhere near an F.
They did not like our trade up for Weipler. They gave us a C+ there.
Well, wait. They gave us an A for the pick.
Yeah.
Weipler.
But didn't like our trade. I don't know why.
That was the other trade.
Both of them are C+.
Okay, that's fine.
Which, if you combine them, we moved up to 56 from 61. Moved back to 185, but then moved back up to 144 and only gave it 148. We moved up. Jaden Reed was a C. Coburn was
overall draft grade of a B+. Last time was a B, I think.
It was a B. We had D's and F's on the last one. We have no D's, no F's. We have D+. 1 D. D+. They did not like Durham.
Payne Durham.
I'm telling you, that guy's going to be way better than a D+ grade in the 7th round. So.
All right. Okay, not so bad.
It went a little bit longer than what we wanted, but
I think the key also though was wheeling and dealing a little bit when we needed to jump up and get a guy, because we would not have gotten we would have still gotten Bergeron, but we would not have gotten Weipler. And I think that's a key pick in this draft for us.
It was a very big key in this draft.
Okay.
We got defensive end. We got offensive line. I definitely like this draft better than the last one.
Yes. So we'll, take a look at the draft board that we just created. Let us know what you think of it, and be on the lookout for mock 3.0, where we're going to try yet another strategy. We're not going to give it away yet.
Nope.
But tune in
and you'll find out. Next week's going to be interesting. And there might be some more arguing, so it might take even longer. All right.
All right, man.
Bear down.
Bear down.